Monster Showdown. Gamera vs. Godzilla. Skyscrapers crumble like sandcastles, fiery explosions light up the night sky, and amidst the chaos, two colossal figures emerge from the shadows. The king of the monsters himself, Godzilla, and the guardian of the universe, Gamera. The music swells to a thunderous climax as the two titans roar, facing off against each other. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel where we dive into all things monstrous and epic. It's your host, Alex, and today we've got a legendary face-off that's been brewing in the minds of kaiju fans for decades. That's right, Gamera vs. Godzilla. Turtle fire vs. T-Rex collision. Who would come out on top in this ultimate showdown of titans? Grab your favorite snack, get comfy, and let's get into it. Before we pit these giants against each other, let's take a stroll down memory lane and get to know them a little better. Because in the world of giant monsters, or kaiju, which literally means strange beast in Japanese, backstory is everything. Godzilla's backstory. Let's kick things off with the big guy, Godzilla. He first stomped onto the silver screen in 1954. Spiral calendar. Imagine Japan in the 1950s, still reeling from the devastating effects of World War II and the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Godzilla wasn't just another monster movie, he was a powerful metaphor for nuclear destruction and the fears of the nuclear age. In that original film, Godzilla is a force of nature, an unstoppable beast awakened and empowered by nuclear radiation. Over the years, though, his character has taken on many roles. Sometimes he's the villain, sometimes the savior, and occasionally, he's the reluctant anti-hero who just wants to be left alone but keeps getting dragged into humanity's messes. Classic films like Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, and the more recent, Shin Godzilla, showcase the many faces of this iconic monster. And let's not forget his Hollywood outings in 1998 and the Monsterverse starting in 2014, where Godzilla is portrayed as a guardian balancing the Earth's natural order. Gamera's backstory. Now let's talk about our other contender, Gamera. He made his debut in 1965 with Gamera, the Giant Monster. Turtle fire. Initially created by Daiei Film to rival Toho's success with Godzilla, Gamera was intended to appeal to a younger audience. I mean, who doesn't love a giant, flying, fire-breathing turtle that's friendly toward kids? In his early films, Gamera was portrayed as a destructive force but quickly shifted into the role of protector, especially of children. Fast forward to the 1990s, and Gamera gets a serious makeover in the Heisei trilogy, Gamera, Guardian of the Universe, Gamera 2, Attack of Legion, and Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris. These films present a darker, more complex Gamera who is deeply connected to the Earth's mana and stands as a guardian against cosmic threats. Alright, let's dive into what really matters in a monster showdown, their powers and abilities. Let's see what each of these titans brings to the fight. Godzilla. Godzilla is the definition of raw, unstoppable power. Depending on the era and film, he stands anywhere from 50 to over 100 meters tall. That's taller than the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty. He's got immense physical strength, able to lift and throw monsters his own size, and withstands incredible amounts of damage thanks to his regenerative healing factor. Kinda like the Hulk but supersized. His signature ability is the atomic breath. This isn't your average fire breath, it's a concentrated beam of nuclear radiation that can cut through just about anything. Buildings, other monsters, alien spaceships, you name it. In some iterations, he also has the nuclear pulse, an energy wave that radiates from his body, giving him an area of effect attack when surrounded. Being amphibious, Godzilla is just as comfortable in the ocean's depths as he is on land. He can traverse vast distances underwater, popping up wherever he needs to, makes him pretty unpredictable. Gamera. Gamera might not be as physically imposing at first glance, but don't underestimate him. He's got that massive, rock-hard shell that's virtually impervious to attacks, a true fortress. Inside that shell, Gamera's got some tricks up his sleeve, or flippers. Tears of joy. He can launch plasma fireballs from his mouth, which pack a serious punch. Then there's his ability to fly. By retracting his legs and firing jets from his limb sockets, he can spin through the air like a flying saucer. It's wild. Some versions even show him flying more conventionally, like a jet plane. In the Heisei films, Gamera taps into the Earth's mana, allowing him to absorb and manipulate this life energy for powerful attacks and healing. He's got a psychic connection with humans too, often forming bonds that guide his actions. No monster is invincible, and our titans are no exception. Let's look at where they might stumble. Godzilla. While Godzilla's power is immense, he relies heavily on nuclear energy. If he's cut off from radiation sources or faced with an opponent that can absorb or negate radiation, he could be at a disadvantage. He's also been susceptible to human technology at times. Superweapons like the Oxygen Destroyer have proven fatal in the past. Plus, he's occasionally been overpowered by other kaiju when outnumbered or surprised. His size can be a drawback, makes him a big target, and agility isn't exactly his strong suit. Gamera. Gamera's connection to Earth's mana is a phenomenal power source, but it's limited. If the Earth's mana is low or if he's in an area where he can't access it, his abilities diminish. Also, using his most powerful attacks can drain his energy reserves quickly. In Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris, we see him suffer significant damage and struggle to recover. His protective nature, especially towards humans, can be exploited by cunning opponents. Beyond the screen battles, these monsters have had a huge impact culturally. Let's see how they've shaped pop culture. Godzilla's influence. Godzilla is more than just a movie monster, he's a global phenomenon. He's appeared in over 30 films, inspired countless songs, books, comics, and has even been featured on postage stamps. Envelope. He's been used as a symbol in discussions about nuclear weapons, environmental issues, and the impact of natural disasters. Godzilla's influence extends to other film industries too, inspiring monsters and creatures in Hollywood and around the world. The special effects techniques developed for Godzilla films, like suitmation and miniature sets, were groundbreaking at the time and paved the way for modern CGI effects. Gamera's influence. While Gamera may not have the same international recognition, he's a beloved figure in the kaiju community. His films, especially the 90s trilogy, are often praised for their storytelling, character development, and special effects. Gamera's unique abilities and more sympathetic portrayal have influenced how monsters can be more than just antagonists, they can be heroes with depth. His willingness to protect humans, even at great personal cost, adds a layer of humanity to his character. Now, for the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's imagine how a face-off between these two might play out. Setting the stage. Let's set the scene. The battle takes place in Neo-Tokyo, a sprawling coastal megacity with towering skyscrapers, neon lights, and millions of inhabitants. The city is built along the bay, providing both urban and aquatic environments. Perhaps a new threat has drawn both monsters to the city. A rogue experiment or an alien invasion causes a surge of energy that both Godzilla and Gamera respond to. Misunderstandings ensue, and the two titans see each other as threats. Battle analysis. Godzilla starts off by emerging from the bay, his dorsal fins glowing ominously. Gamera flies in from the mountains, landing with a ground-shaking thud. Godzilla unleashes his atomic breath, scorching the cityscape as Gamera dodges by taking to the skies. From above, Gamera retaliates with plasma fireballs, some of which impact Godzilla, causing him to stagger. The fight escalates as they move through the city. Godzilla uses his immense strength to hurl debris and even topple buildings towards Gamera. Gamera counters with his agility, weaving through the wreckage and launching hit-and-run attacks. They might even end up in the bay, with Godzilla trying to drag Gamera underwater to gain an advantage. But Gamera's adaptability and underwater capabilities make it a tougher challenge than expected. Possible outcomes. If Godzilla manages to land a direct hit with his atomic breath at full power, it could severely injure Gamera. On the other hand, if Gamera taps into the Earth's mana for a massive attack, he might be able to overwhelm Godzilla. Alternatively, mid-battle, they realize they're being manipulated or that a greater threat looms, a classic kaiju trope. They could then team up to defeat the common enemy, showcasing that even giants can set aside differences. Open hands. Let's take a peek into the fandom and see what people are saying about this epic matchup. Popular opinions. Fans are divided. Big surprise there. Open mouth smile. Some hardcore Godzilla fans argue that his raw power and resilience would outmatch Gamera. They point to his victories over equally powerful foes like King Ghidorah and Destoroyah. Gamera fans, however, believe that his agility, intelligence, and unique abilities like flight give him the edge. They note his victories over formidable adversaries like Legion and Iris, who posed existential threats. Polls on various forums and social media platforms show a fairly even split, with passionate arguments on both sides. Expert insights. Critics and film historians often highlight the thematic differences between the two. While Godzilla embodies the unintended consequences of human hubris, Gamera represents guardianship and the protective spirit. Some experts suggest that in a well-crafted narrative, the outcome of their battle would depend on the story being told. If the theme revolves around destruction versus protection, Gamera might emerge victorious. If it centers on the unstoppable force of nature, Godzilla could take the win. Let's ponder what a clash like this would mean for their worlds and future stories. Impact on their universes. A battle of this magnitude would definitely leave a mark. Cities would need decades to rebuild, international relations could be strained, and public perception of kaiju might shift dramatically. For Godzilla and Gamera, the fight could lead to mutual respect or perhaps an ongoing rivalry. It might even open the door to exploring deeper themes, like coexistence with nature or the consequences of environmental neglect. Future possibilities. The idea of a crossover isn't just fan fiction, it's a tantalizing possibility. With the success of shared universes in cinema today, a Godzilla-Gamera team-up, or rematch, could be a huge hit. Studios would have to hash out the legalities, but the potential box office success and fan satisfaction could make it worthwhile. It could rejuvenate interest in both franchises, leading to new films, merchandise, and more. At the end of the day, whether you're rooting for Godzilla, the king of the monsters, or Gamera, the guardian of the universe, it's clear that both have earned their legendary status. Personally, I think a battle between them would be epic, but maybe the real win would be seeing them team up against a common foe. Imagine the two of them standing side by side, ready to defend the Earth. That's the kind of cinematic gold I'd love to see. Glowing star, but enough about what I think. I want to hear from you. Who do you think would win in a showdown between Godzilla and Gamera? Or would you rather see them team up? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Down arrow. Also, if you have any suggestions for future videos or monster matchups you'd like to see, let me know. This channel is all about building a community of fans who love digging into the awesome world of kaiju and beyond. Remember, whether you're Team Godzilla or Team Gamera, we're all part of the same monster-loving family. Let's keep the debates friendly and fun. Smile. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. Share this video with your fellow kaiju fans, and let's keep the conversation going. Once again, thanks for tuning in. You all are the real MVPs. Stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you in the next video. Roll a montage of the most epic moments from both monsters, roaring, flying, unleashing their powers. The screen fades to the channel's logo. Follow us on social media for behind-the-scenes content, updates, and more. Links are in the description below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay awesome, and keep on roaring.